Hello, wonderful GV parents. My name is Noelle Benc, and it's my pleasure to be working with your child or guardianship in my class this year for biology. The first screen that you're looking at is a general overview of my class. This breaks down the grades. 40% of the grades will be projects, 30% will be tests, and 30% will be assignments. There will be a document linked at the bottom of this YouTube video upon the end, or you can stop and access it whenever you'd like. And if you have a Google Drive, my recommendation would be to make a copy of it and place it in the drive so you have access to some of these links at all time. Typical week in this class incorporates about 2 to 3 assignments, probably 3 on average. And this is a lab science course, and so it is a rigorous course, but at the same time, it's very much manageable as long as students are coming to class during the synchronous time and using that asynchronous time to get their assignments complete. This is what the document looks like that is going to be linked underneath the YouTube video. I am running a Canvas course, so I do not use Google Classroom. One more time, I do not use Google Classroom. If you would like access to the Canvas course, then you have to complete this form so that the district can add you to the class as an observer. I had sent it out through Parent Square at one point, but there were some issues with a couple of the questions mandating that you had to fill in a number. If you complete the form now, it should hopefully be problem-free. I have not received any complaints from parents as to some of the questions blocking them from submitting the form. So I think it's complete now. I think it's accurate. Once you have completed that form, the district will add you as an observer, and to access the course, you can use this link. And this is what the course looks like from a student perspective. When I click on student view, actually I'm in student view. When you first open up the class, if I'm a parent trying to observe what's going on for my child, I would say, let me see what's on the right side here. This is what you can do as a quick scan. So I'm not a very good student right now because I have an assignment that was due on August 28th that's still not done. That's a scavenger hunt. I have an assignment that was due on September 4th that I still haven't done, and that's the scientific method worksheet. And I have a GIM kit that is due today that I have yet to complete. So this is the quickest way to see what they need to do. Some students are a little intimidated because it's different from what they normally have. It's meant to just be designed as a step-by-step process. If you see a title, what they have to do for each of these is indicated underneath the title. They have to complete all items. In this particular module, which is where all students should be, and as you can see, period 7, I have new students that were transferred in from other biology teachers. This is where they should start. First page, as long as they view the page, then they will be able to access the next slide. And you can access that by clicking the next button over here. This is just a resource. You'll know what you have to do on each slide because it'll tell you, or on each page, it'll tell you at the top. This one is just here for reference. If students are wanting to review the lesson that we are covering or the content that we cover within the lesson, this is how they can go back and see what we covered. Then next button is always in the bottom right corner. If you click on the next slide, you can see, oh, this is an assignment and it's due on August 31st, and you have to submit a file upload. I always try to incorporate videos for how to do that within each assignment. I try to spell out how it's going to be graded. This is using a site called Edpuzzle. These are video lessons, and these are the access codes for each of the students. I have a lot of students that tend to skip directions, and then they become lost and frustrated and they give up. And so this is just a quick overview of the approach in the class so that if they need help, your child does, you actually can provide them some help. Going back to the side buttons here, these are the big dogs. So the home page is the same as the modules. The syllabus is just an introduction to myself. And then the grades page can show you exactly what's going on with all of the work that they've done in this class. I am not applying any late deductions as of right now. Eventually that will probably happen starting with our third unit or our third module of lesson content. But for now, as students are acclimating to distance learning, I want to give them the time to become comfortable with what we're doing in class. Going back to the links over here, if you ever need to contact me, please send an email and I will try to respond within 48 hours. You can send an email through Parent Square, or there is a direct link to my email address here. A little bit of info about the grades. The most up-to-date grades will be on the Canvas course because I have to sync it over to Aries, which is just one click of a button. But if for some reason I forgot to sync, then you might wonder if your son or daughter has their work done, and Canvas is probably the most accurate place to go look. All graded work and not graded work. If you see a red box in Aries, that means it's probably up to date, that it's been synced. I marked it as grading complete. They have not turned in their work. They have a red box. This will also result in a 3 on their asynchronous attendance for the days that that assignment should have been completed during their asynchronous time. I accept late work. It will eventually become a 10% deduction. Usually I put a post out 1 to 2 weeks after the unit is done announcing that I'm going to close it, so that they better get that work done before they all get zeroed out. If you have not set up your account to access Aries, this is a link with hopefully some directions that make sense for you here. I recommend accessing or setting up the Aries access as soon as possible so you can check in and see what grades are. Just a warning, my Canvas and Aries are not syncing yet. I'm going to work on that this afternoon. Hopefully it will be good to go by this afternoon. Other than that, I mentioned attendance, so they get marked present if they are in class for the day. How do I take attendance? Initially, the students will come to the meeting through a Zoom link. They can access that on Aries, but once they're in the meeting, I actually have them join what's called Pear Deck. And Pear Deck is a application I use where I incorporate questions during the lesson, and it forces them hopefully to respond. They get their attendance taken from their presence in Pear Deck. They get a point for attempting to answer the question. They don't even have to be correct in their answers. But I don't have them in class with me, so the only way to check whether or not they are actively participating in what we do during class time is by the answers and the contributions that they make during the Pear Deck session. So attendance is taken from Pear Deck, and that's what to mark them either here or not here. It becomes a 3, I already mentioned this, if they don't complete the asynchronous assignment that they're supposed to take care of during their free time after lunch. I think that covers just about everything. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I hope this gave you an overview that is sufficient for how the class is run, and I look forward to working with your son or daughter this year. Have a great one.